Okay, for all you people who've been following the dead, exploded coffee grinder situation here at Angel's Haven, here you go, the unboxing of the new coffee grinder. So, to bring you up to speed, I have never owned a Burr grinder. I've never paid $60 for a coffee grinder, which I'm here to tell you is not very much for a Burr grinder. It's a lot for a blade grinder. And I have owned in my life maybe 4 or 5 blade grinders. One was a Cuisinart, which lasted, I don't know, 20 years. I owned a Mr. Coffee blade grinder, which I had for 10 years, and then I brought to my law firm maybe 10 years ago, and when I left that suite at the end of 2017, it was still there. I don't know what happened to it after I left. That suite closed a year or so later, maybe 2 years, so I don't know what happened to that coffee grinder. That was a Mr. Coffee, so it lasted at least 10 years. And the one that just died was a Braun, B-R-A-U-N. All 3 of those were blade grinders. And the Mr. Coffee blade grinder cost maybe $12. The Cuisinart blade grinder that lasted 20 years, that was, I acquired it 30 years ago. I have no idea how much it cost. When I looked into getting a new blade grinder, when the Braun died the other day, and when I say died, it literally came apart in my hands as I was using it. Plastic fatigue, I would say. It broke into 3 or 4 big pieces. Irreparable. I was lucky I wasn't shocked. I grabbed the cord and pulled it out of the wall right away. So when I was looking into replacing it, I debated whether to just get a $15 blade grinder or to get a Burr grinder. For those of you who don't drink coffee, a Burr grinder grinds between 2 stones maybe, or 2 grinders, and a blade grinder has a blade that goes around and cuts. Most coffee shop coffee is probably done with a Burr grinder. Burr grinders can cost $300 or $400. I read a couple of reviews. The highest rated one I read was a Burr grinder that cost about $250. There's no chance on God's green earth that I would ever buy a Burr grinder for $250. I will buy shoes for $150 because I'm disabled and I have to have good shoes. I prefer to get them for less if I can. When I buy shoes for less than $150, they fall apart. I'm always disappointed. But coffee grinder, not so much. So I researched and found this one, which is a Cuisinart. It costs $60. And it's a Burr grinder. So here it is. I hope that Cuisinart is still a good brand, because that's what I thought. I remember recently I was thinking of getting a toaster oven, and I asked my sister Joyce if Black & Decker was still considered a good brand, and she said, no, it's a terrible brand. So I didn't buy a Black & Decker, and actually ended up buying a toaster oven at a thrift shop. secondhand shop for $6, and that put an end to the buying a new toaster oven debate, because $6 to me is worth it. So there it is, the Cuisinart. That's what it looks like. Believe it or not, step 1, take a photo. Oh, register your Cuisinart now. Step 1, take a photo of the below appearing pre-registration code and send it in via smartphone. Oh, okay, I probably won't be doing that. My biggest problem with this burr grinder, with any burr grinder, is cabinet space. You can picture a blade grinder. It's about the diameter of this drinking vessel, maybe once again as tall. So it takes up the footprint of a drinking glass. In a tiny house, not taking up a lot of real estate is a good thing. That is not going to be the case with the burr grinder. I'm going to put this down. It is annoyingly well packed. My lily white spastic hands are having trouble with the annoyingly well packed situation. It's nice to see. So this is a Cuisinart. There is a little bit of plastic. The cord is wrapped in the unit is in plastic, but there's no styrofoam. So this is cardboard. The outer box, the Amazon box, was cardboard. The package box was cardboard. It is wrapped in plastic, which wants me to know that there's a danger of suffocation, so I should keep this away from babies. There are no babies here, so it's wrapped in rather a lot of plastic. So as I was saying, this unit takes up, okay, just to compare footprints, here's the burr grinder, here's the glass. This is literally about the diameter of a blade grinder, and this is clearly significantly bigger. And it is one of the smaller ones, which is part of why I picked it. I looked at the footprint of various burr grinders, and so I have a China coffee, what do you call that? A coffee canister, which belonged to my mother. It's China, and it says coffee on it. It used to just sit on my bookshelf, and I thought, why am I not using this for coffee? I keep most of the beans in the freezer, and I just fill that coffee canister. It holds maybe, I don't know, half a pound of coffee beans. But this grinder has a hopper which claims to hold a half pound of beans. So I guess their suggestion is that you use the hopper for bean storage. I would not do that for the simple reason that it is clear plastic, and it's my considered opinion and my understanding, based upon modest amounts of research, that it's not good to expose coffee beans to air. Air? No, light. Air or light, but the opaqueness or transparency of the hopper would be light. So I probably won't be using that for storage. I'll continue to use my canister. So a burr grinder gives you a cup setting for beans, which is what this is here. I don't know if you can see that. Here, you can tell it how many cups of coffee you're going to make, and it gives you a gradation of fine to coarse for the grinding of the beans, which is the hopper moves according to grind. So there it is, the Cuisinart Burr grinder, and I will report whether or not the coffee tastes better. And thank you for supporting my self-indulgence in coffee addiction. Have a nice day.